Today I decided to share with you 30 music production hacks that I wish I knew earlier.
Like recording some grass in the nature. No, I'm just joking.
So this stuff that I'm going to show you will not only save you a ton of time, boost your creativity and improve your workflow, this will actually make you better at creating music. So let's get right into it and turn on the clock. First up, let's talk about pianos. Instead of having a boring pattern, adding a little bit of delay to your piano notes can make them sound more realistic and interesting. Now, speaking of chords, do you ever feel like you don't know what to put next? Try using the 5. So copy the first chord and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we get something like this. And it's always working. Dude, stop adding these white noise risers on your transitions. Instead, duplicate your sample, reverse it, take one part that looks like a riser, place it right here, and add some reverb. The next hack that I want to show you is for those who put reverb on everything and love cool effects. Shout out to all of you. Flanger can actually be your best friend because you can get some really interesting sounds. If you want to fill up the space in your track, especially for the intros, try adding ambient sounds like this in the key of your song. And I have a free pack for you full of ambient sounds. You can check it out in the description down below. I don't know what you think, but silence is also an instrument and can be one of the greatest things you can do for your track, especially before that crazy drop. Now, let's not forget about ourselves. Coffee can be a great creative fuel, and man, that's the 8th cup that I'm drinking. Sidechain compression creates that pumping effect, and I really love it, not only for my bass lines, but also for the melodies and vocals. High-pass automation is totally a game changer. Start by adding an EQ on a master channel, right-click band number 1, choose high pass, and move this dot down. And now, let's create an automation clip, and we get something like this. Did you know that you can take one sample and turn it into 10 different samples by using this plugin called Synthplant? So let's click right here and add my own sample. And now let's click generate. And you can see that it created multiple different sounds. And I can do this every time I want. And I get different variations, different effects, different sounds. So that's so fucking cool. Creating volume automations is not only easy, but they are so damn good to create variety in your track. If you feel like your bassline is boring, try adding octave jumps because they can literally change everything. So let's say you are recording your own vocals and you don't have a pop filter and there are a lot of BDP sounds like this. So to fix it, take a simple pen and try this.
You weird.
You can add more energy to your build-up by automating the reverb. So I just take the wet and decay knob and create an automation clip until the drop starts. This is how you get tricked most of the time and you are like, whoa, what a huge drop. So let me show you. Let's add some stereo imaging, turn it down to 0, create an automation, and turn it off when the drop hits so it gets back to the normal version. Now, if you are enjoying this video, you can hit that subscribe button because I'm trying to get 100k subscribers this year, so this will help me a lot. Now, going back to this video, the next tip that I want to show you is about swing. For example, I do this most of the time with my close hats, so I just have this simple pattern, and then I press Ctrl plus A to select all of them, and I move them a little bit offside, and I get something like this. Or you can also do this using this knob right here in the channel rack if you're using FL Studio, and turn it to 35, 40%, that's great. Why I can hear the bass through my phone speaker is one of the most common questions that everybody has. So the answer to that is saturation. This is before. And after applying saturation on my bass line. If you feel like your track gets boring, stop adding more instruments. Try turning the melody up or down 1 octave so you get something different. Now, you are probably EQing your vocals and melodies in the wrong way. People usually take this bell curve and boost 10 dB looking for frequencies. And I see people doing this, which is absolutely crazy for me, because at 10 decibels, everything starts sounding awful. So you go into that loop and you start cutting everything. Instead of taking a 5 dB bell curve like a normal person, sweep around, and now you can actually hear what sounds bad and what is okay. Everybody forgets about this, but you can actually reverse every sound you want. For example, let's take this kick, reverse it, and I can do the same thing with this clap as well. To add an extra vibe to your samples, start creating pitch automations like this, especially on our bass lines. Never and never forget adding simple things like crashes and impacts in between sections, because they are making a really huge difference. And to get a smooth introduction into your song, take the same impact sound, reverse it, and put it right here. Speaking of introductions, to nicely introduce the vocal in your track, take a small part, add some reverb, record it, reverse it, and put it right behind it. If you want to create vocal melodies using Serum, turn off Oscillator A, activate the noise section, drag the vocal into it, create a melody, and finally add some Serum effects like reverb, hyperdimension, and we get this. Use mid-side EQ when you are mastering your song to cut unnecessary lows around 150 Hz, and cut the low end of any sound that is not a kick or bass to get a more cleaner mix. And finally, a cool thing that you can do for your tracks and melodies is to use soundscapes to add a character, texture, and richness to your song. So here's before. And after. So yeah, thank you so much. If you got something from this video, I really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button, like the video, and let me know what you want to see next time.